If you watched my story where I talked about AI for multimedia creation as a skill to have in 2026, you remember I said your story shouldn't just end as an article. If you haven't watched it, let me give you a quick recap. When you write a great story and you hardly get enough views, it's not because your story isn't great, it's because you haven't repurposed your story in different formats diverse audiences want to consume. If your story only exists in one format, you are invisible to most of them. Bearing this in mind, I'll be showing you how to turn your story into a carousel using AI as promised. For people who don't know what a carousel is, it's a series of swipeable slides on Instagram or LinkedIn that tell a story visually, usually 5 to 10 slides that people can save, share, swipe through at their own pace. By the end of this video, you will know how to go from a published article to a published carousel in just a few minutes using two AI tools most journalists are either sleeping on or misusing. Now, let me show you exactly how this looks in practice. The first thing you will need is to get the text that you use for the carousel. This is the story I'm going to be spotlighting, and so I already extracted the text from it because I want to create a text carousel text from this particular article. The next thing I would do is to, of course, go to my ebook, and under the section where you have the section rather where you have adapt print slash long form stories for audio or video scripts, you can also use this for the carousel. It's just that in places where they indicate audio or video, you change it to carousel. So I've already copied and pasted it and tweaked it. You'll see that in a bit. I'm using Claude to help with the carousel text. At this beginning part is the text from the article, and the prompt is starting from here. You are a multimedia producer. I copied from the ebook and then tweaked it, indicated my story headline, indicated the format, which is carousel, the platform, which is Instagram, my target audience, young persons who are not usually interested in health or science stories. The task is to restructure this written story for the target audience into carousel format, and it's to create a complete carousel script slide by slide. So I already tweaked it based on what I got from the prompt. And then lastly, I indicated the tone, which is to be precise, to be practical, and I said it should use simple language that the audience can relate to. Claude has helped me produce the text, which you'll see in a bit. So now this is the text, the hook, which is the first slide. We say the children were eating, the children were drinking, and nearly half of it was killing them. I think that stops anybody. Like it leaves a lot to be told, and so it also provides you the visuals that you can use. For instance, this is slide 2, which says this is Karamoja, northeastern Nigeria. Then the body text indicates this, and then the visual would be use a map of Uganda with Karamoja highlighted. You will note, you understand later the reason why we're indicating visuals for each of the slides. The third is a researcher got tired of watching programs fail, so we add more of these. And so we already have our text. Now we go to Gamma. The first AI tool we'll be using would be Gamma. So when you click on Gamma, you would need to sign up. And so the first thing you do is what you can see. I already created some slides here. So I'll click on create new. Gamma isn't entirely free. It uses credits. So I've not really produced a lot of carousels here. So that's why we're using it. So if you need to keep using the free version, then you can make use of this. So you can make use of new email addresses to get a new version. So all right, moving on. When you get to this place, you click on create new, and when you click on create new, I will use paste in text because that's what I want to do. And then creating for social media, so I'll click on create on social media, and I want it to be in square, not in portrait. I'll take the text and paste it here.
Again, this is where you can go further. You don't necessarily have to use everything that Claude has given to you. So you can tweak it depending on how you want. So this is the text. The production note, I don't like it. Use an imagery of sport. I don't want to use children. Sport foods. Then same, I continue like that. The context, I can remove all this, is not necessary. So, and you can tweak it depending on how you want it. Let's just leave it like this. And so the next thing we do is to click on preserve this text exactly as it is. So we click on the next thing, which is continue to prompt editor. So now this is where you are going to visualize how your text, or how your carousel rather, would be. So you go ahead to pick, depending on whatever theme you want. I can pick this, for instance, because my organization uses red, but there are other color themes you can pick. But I like this. So is wine. I love wine actually. And so it's asking what image source do I want. So I told you to pick AI images, but you can go ahead to pick any of these if you want. And then it asks me what image art do I want, and I want 3D, so I'll click on 3D. Or if I want to add reference, you can add images to it. I can upload images. If you have images, you can upload from here. Let's click on generate. So I'm just doing four slides, just for the purpose of this video. So you can see it is already creating the slides, and it has already created it. It's as fast as that. So this is it. This is what it has given. I totally love this. I totally love this. So I look at the imagery it has given. The children were eating. Like I love, I don't know, because I love a burst of colors here. So you can always change. Note that you can always change, edit how you want, rearrange the carousel how you want it to be. For instance, this, the way it is currently like this, you can change it like this, or like this, depending on how you want it to be. And this as well. I totally love this. This is even very catchy. This is, so you can imagine how the rest would look like. And if you still want to go ahead to change anything, you chat with the agents here. Maybe you want to improve writing. If you want to change anything, please go ahead to do that here. And if you want to add more cards, you can do that, add new cards here, and then you can drag to change the positions. So that is pretty much it. You can also chat with the agent up here. And so now you want to export, you just export using this feature, and tell it to download all slides. So you can either download it as PDF or download as PNG, however you want to download it. So this is the second AI tool called Manus. So the same prompts we use for Gamma we'll also use here. The first thing you do is click on create slide, and then put in your text. I'll need to let you know that I added something to it. So at the end of this text prompt, I indicated use 3D and colorful images. Use only black people if you're using people, and African settings for the environment. And then the primary color is wine, so you can always tweak that as well. And then you click on send. I've already produced it, and this is what it gave to me, which I think is totally brilliant. Look at this. So it went further to actually create more, which I didn't give to it, but I can always edit it and include the other texts that I have from Claude. So you can go ahead to download the texts and you're good to go.
So here's what I want you to do after watching this video. Pick one story you've already published, anything from say the last 3 months. Go to Gamma or GenSpark, paste it in, create a carousel structure, then edit it ruthlessly. Make sure every slide is accurate, make sure the flow works, and make it yours. Post it and tag me, I would love to see it. Links to both Gamma and GenSpark are in the description below. If this video helped you, like it and share it with a colleague. Next week, I'll be covering another multimedia format journalists are really sleeping on. See you in the next one.